I think I could probably gauge how overworked and fatigued I am by watching my videos, just taking like a screenshot of each of them over time, because I feel like with each new video, I'm becoming more and more like exhausted looking. But it is a document of really just how out of control things feel in my world right now. And strangely, I feel controlled, but I have just been almost literally working around the clock for today's Tuesday night, 4 or 5 days. And I had agreed to take on an emergency asylum evaluation for an immigration client. Um, and when I took that assignment, I wasn't realizing that the COVID-19 scenario was coming. And so instead of writing this emergency report, the last 2 days I've been around the clock working with my Tulane students and just answering emails, just trying to figure out their internship situations in light of this. And every day it's a new set of variables. And it has been utterly exhausting. And I just have so many moving parts to my work world right now. And also, of course, I have supervisees and I have therapy clients, and it's just trying to kind of keep everything going right now has become absolutely intolerable. And tonight, it's 10 o'clock or so, it's 10:15. I have to stay up probably most of the night to get this emergency report written. And that is the kind of situation that is leading me to work really hard to try to do more of the things that don't require this kind of work. I I love what I do. I love the people I work with. I love the context in which I work in immigration advocacy, but I just can't keep doing this. And in order to move me toward the things I want to be doing, I've had to take on a lot of things because they have to kind of overlap. And so I am just really not, this isn't good for me. And I've had my children with me and trying to homeschool them, or to some degree, my daughter is pretty much a grown up at this point. But my son, it's been just a lot. So I'm really hoping that by Thursday and Friday, I will be back to some sort of normal. I won't have, hopefully, these emergencies happening simultaneously of having to write a report all night and dealing with, I think the Tulane stuff will be settled, but I am just a ball of stress. And that is not the way I want to live my life. I've worked really hard to not have that, but these times were, definitely not expected. This, obviously, this virus. And of course, I could be a physician in an emergency room right now. It's all relative. And so, that's what's on my mind, is that I can't keep going at this pace for much longer. So, but I have to tonight. I have to fulfill the obligation that I've made. I had to fulfill the obligation to my students, and that's taken up literally all my time the last 2 days, as well as, to my other clients. And so I'm just going to go into the weekend feeling like I can catch my breath again a little bit. So that's what's on my mind. It's really hard times for me right now. It's hard times for so many people. And, what I do see happening is that people are really supporting each other. We're all struggling. When the few times I've been on social media today, I've seen people posting that they feel like they're already failing at the, the homeschooling or the working from home, or they don't feel, they're starting to feel like, how am I going to do this for another month or whatever? Everybody is just doing the best they can. I went into my office today. I'm really lucky. I live just a few blocks from my office, and so I walked to my office today and I saw a client who wanted to come in. So much of my work is shifting to online work, but I still have a couple of folks who want to come in person, and that's fine. We've worked out how to do that safely. And when I left my office this morning, which feels like a lifetime ago, to come back home, I was walking down a really almost deserted Ferret Street, which is a really busy place, and it was so strange. And I put my headphones in and I just hit shuffle on all my music, which is lots in Spotify. And this really old song came up by a band called Poi Dog Pondering, that only people who, are in my age range probably know. They were a regional favorite, and their live shows back in my 20s were to die for. I love their music. It's, for the most part, really upbeat. It's just really melodic. And anyway, this song came on that I haven't heard in a long time because I don't listen to this very often. And first song I heard as I started walking away from my office was a song called Everybody's Trying. And I just thought, perfect. And I listened to it as I walked home, and I knew, I was like, this is a song I'm going to put on my playlist. I've been so busy, I didn't add yesterday's song to my playlist. I am just over the top. But anyway, I'm going to add that Poi Dog song and the song from yesterday to my playlists. And the mind-body practice tonight for me, I've pretty much already done it. I went for a short run when I really didn't have time to do that because of the aforementioned a million things. But I forced myself to stop and go for a run. And it turned into a run walk because I was continuing to deal with work calls and texts and things like that. But it still felt like I was moving my body. I was out in the world. I didn't see very many people. It's still really eerie. But the people I did see, we smiled at each other and we kind of walked with a distance between us when we'd pass each other. We're all just trying to do the best we can. I walked by businesses that are now all doing to go if they're not closed altogether. All the bars are completely dark. It's just really kind of stunning. But when I was walking by the restaurants that are now doing to go, you just saw the people in there kind of sitting behind the counter. And, they had signs, they had rearranged things to try to accommodate this new scenario. And my heart goes out to them. And so again, that's why that song feels really special to me right now, or I guess appropriate, because we're all just really, there's no rule book for this. There's no rule book for this. And so, tomorrow's another day. When I do this video tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be talking about how I am just falling out with having done so much. But for now, I'm going to just keep moving because I got to.